Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this video. Hey, thanks for joining back in, working that YouTube algorithm. I do hope these these coin roll hunting videos are enjoyable for you. Hope you're comparing to how good of success you have and how your adventures along the way. So here we go. I got 10 rolls of each: quarters, dimes, nickels, and Lincoln cents. Not going to be too exciting here on the Lincoln cent, because if we look at this, if I can get that focus, that is a 2024 Denver. Grab another roll here. That is a 2024 Denver. So I've got a whole flat 10 rolls of nothing but 2024 cent. So that going to go back, make it easy. This nickels, obviously, I got a good box. These are all circulated, and we got a couple oldies that look an old along the way. So these at least were circulated, so we should have some good finds, and one customer repped there along the way. Dimes, much like our nickels, what we're going to have here, focus, tail and tail, and look at that. And that is a 2025 Philly. What do we have? Tails, a lot of reverses on this one, but there's another one, 2025 Philly. So I've got a whole tray, $50 worth of dimes that are all 2024. And then, of course, we could see here with our quarters, definitely circulated. So quarters and nickels are going to be the ones to focus on today, and or in this video. And so let me get situated, and I'll bring you back in for the first finds. All right, folks, as expected, those pennies were all 2024 Denvers. I did go through the whole roll just to look for a blank planchet. I did look at some of them for any kind of gross errors, large-scale errors. I wasn't looking for any of the doubling on the shields or anything like that. I just don't waste my time on that one. So now we're moving over here into our nickels. And of course, these are all circulated nickels. I do have the one customer rep, so I'm going to start with that, work my way down, and I will bring you in for any finds along the way. Well, it took to roll 6 to find anything of interest here. I did have, and I'll go through these at the end, I had a couple 1950, 56, 46, 56, 56, 2009, and an estimate, and one Canadian. So those are common coins I'll come back at the end for. But this one, take a look at that. 19. Yes, that is 38. First year Jefferson nickel. Good condition. And that is a Philadelphia. So 19, I believe, 19 million minted there. So a great find. First year Jefferson nickel in common circulation. I'll bring you back in for the next find. Oh my gosh, folks, look at this. I mean, look at this. This is bank wrapped roll. This came up 1950. We always pray for a mint mark with the 1950. And look at this. That is a Denver mint mark. I'm going to bring this over here. Click the right button. There we go. So again, no deception here. That is a 1950. And when we flip that over, look at that. Denver mint mark. That's not only a low mintage, but that is a key date. That is a book filler for me. I am so excited right now in this nickel hunt. I can't wait. Oh man. That's the holy grail of nickels right there. Great find. Oh, 1950D. Add that to my collection. Of the other ones that I found here, I'm going to ask you guys, I need some advice on. Flip this back over. 2005. And let's take a look here at that. I can't tell if that is a doubling, maybe machine doubling. Variety Vista does not have this on here. But if we look right there below those trees and right here in this area next to these trees or branches, is that doubling? That just doesn't look normal. Put those comments below. Let me know what you think if that's a doubling. And I am going to bring you back in for the final summary here of our nickel hunt. All right, folks, here we are for our summary. 10 rolls of nickels, and oh my gosh, what a find, or finds, I should say. We did have a 1986 Canadian and a 2000 Canadian. I do keep, we did have two 1968 San Francisco and one 1970 San Francisco. So I do pull those aside. Of our wow finds, unusual, hard to find finds, we had that 2009 Philadelphia. We did have that possible doubling on that those trees of the 2005. That is the Philadelphia. I didn't see it in Variety Vista, so I need your comments below if you think that's doubling or just wishful thinking. And I'm wishful thinking. Look at that, 1950. That's in fine condition. That is a 1950 Denver key date. Of our other wow finds I could put up there, nice transition. Look at that. First year, 1938 Philly. Always first year Jefferson find. We had two 1941s, both of which were Philadelphia. Not the best of condition, not upgraders or album fills there. We had a 1946, also from Philadelphia. Common coin there. We had a 1954, and that's also from the Denver Mint, common year. And we had two 1956s, both of those from Denver. So common years, but man, possible DDR, and I'm still reeling about this 1950D. What a find. Bring you in here for the dimes. Well, at the end of the dimes, because I believe they're all 2025. So I'll bring you in shortly. All right, folks, uneventful for the quarters. No real varieties, errors, die clashes, anything like that. The best we got is we got this Philadelphia. That's a 2011 Olympics. So that is a lower mint coin. Oh, this lighting's unforgiving here. There, see if that makes it a little bit better. There we go, Olympic 2011. So that's about 30 million minted, so not a key date by far. And then this one here, we have a Philadelphia again, dirty. I don't know what's going on there, but that is 2009, another low mintage year, American Samoa. This by far is the one I see the most of my 2009s is the American Samoa. So some lower mintage coins out of the quarters. I did have probably about a half dozen, 5 upgrades to my album, so I didn't bother showing you those. But this is that Pride and Joy, if we can get right in there. That nickel roll gave us and filled in my spot that 1950 Denver low mintage. That was the find of this rolls hunt. So that's just the way it goes. Brand new rolls for the pennies. brand new rolls for the dimes. Nickels giving us this 1950 Denver. What a coin. I'm still happy. That's a book filler and a key date. Holy grail of the nickels to find. And then the quarters only gave us those 2009s. So, reality of coin roll hunting, guys. Thank you again for joining in. Thank you for sharing this hobby, and I appreciate all that support. How do you show your support? You give me those thumbs ups. You click that subscribe button. You make those comments down below here, and it's all just fun for me. So, thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Thank you for your support. And until the next time, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and happy hunting.